ferocious dog bites, accusations of on-set assault, and a lot more. Who the hell knew the set of NCIS was so insane?
What the hell's DiNozzo doing? I don't know.
Beginning in 2003, Mark Harmon played Special Agent Leroy Jethro Gibbs on NCIS. And he, along with the rest of the cast, helped make NCIS America's favorite TV show. Move over, Homer Simpson. But in 2021, fans were pretty shocked to see that Mark was leaving the beloved series. But what was the real reason that he decided enough was enough? Today we're taking a look behind the scenes of our favorite military police show. Why was Mark never supposed to be on NCIS? Why was he accused by the actress who played Abby of serious crimes? And was Mark Harmon really the sexiest man alive?
What's happening? Emergency below.
Before we dive in, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Now, we might not be the NCIS, but we've done our own investigation, and what we found will shock you. So come on and let's go find out.
What happened?
Mark Harmon was never supposed to be on NCIS. Among the ranks of shows like Law & Order, NCIS attracted viewers for blending Top Gun with A Few Good Men. It was created as a spin-off of the wildly popular JAG show, another terrific show about the legal procedures in the Navy. I know that might not sound like a rollicking good time, but man did JAG rock. And the show broke new ground in merging the excitement of military shows with the heady drama of legal procedures. And yeah, audiences loved it enough to give it 10 incredible seasons. But the network knew they could make things even more exciting. So when they began casting for a lead for their spin-off, they set their sights high. One producer wanted a guy by the name of Mark Harmon, but they mostly agreed that they wouldn't be able to get him. Why? Mark was a big star, and had just been named Sexiest Man Alive. So here are some other names considered along with Mark. You got Alec Baldwin, Chris Cooper, Clive Owen, and I think Clive could have done a great job, Kevin Bacon, Tom Berenger, Val Kilmer, Charlie Sheen, Aidan Quinn, Patrick Swayze. Heck, they even considered Jennifer Aniston as a co-star. But then they got the news. Mark Harmon was interested. So instead of chasing another huge celebrity like a Patrick Swayze, they went with their first choice, Mark. But who the heck is Mark Harmon anyway? Where did he come from? And why was he the perfect choice for NCIS? Who is Mark Harmon? Mark Harmon was a somewhat popular actor before NCIS, and famous after. But few know about his complicated past. So, where did Mark come from? And what is the surprising reason he was picked for NCIS? The two quickest tickets to fame in America are Hollywood and sports. And Mark was successful first in the latter, when he was a quarterback for UCLA. During his very first game, he helped lead his team to a nail-biting victory against the Cornhuskers, who had been the national champions for 2 straight years. For 2 years, he was the starting quarterback for the UCLA Bruins. But he wasn't quite good enough for the NFL, and he wasn't drafted in the 1974 draft. Hey, I have something in common with Mark Harmon. And so, Mark needed a new path in life, and so he decided to give acting a try. He landed some pretty big roles in shows like St. Elsewhere and Flamingo Road. But it wasn't just his ability to read lines that made him famous. In 1986, Mark Harmon was named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. By the time the producers of NCIS came a-knocking, Mark was an established actor. But he was looking for something big to cement his big-time status. And yeah, he saw NCIS as a perfect vehicle. Soon, NCIS was a hit, and season after season, the show climbed in the rankings. But not everything was sunshine and roses. While the cast had great chemistry on screen, things were a bit different on set. What happened between Mark and Paulie? While Gibbs was the lead on NCIS, you could argue that Abby was just as popular.
Abby.
Nobody could blend a peppy demeanor with a goth appearance like she could. And because she appeared on the other spin-offs, NCIS New Orleans and NCIS Los Angeles, Abby quickly became one of the most popular characters on all of TV. But while Gibbs and Abby were chummy on the show, the reality couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, several violent incidents led to a rift between them that was never repaired. So what really happened between Mark and Paulie? Here's what we know. Mark is a big dog guy. So much so that he loved to take his dog, a pit bull mix, on set with him. But then trouble came. A cast member was playing with the dog, and the dog bit him. Badly enough to require 16 stitches.
Dave ended up biting the crew member, causing about 16 stitches.
16 stitches?
Mark's lawyer claimed that the dog only bit because the cast member was roughhousing. And so he continued to bring the dog on set, and he said he kept it on a leash or in his trailer. But not everybody thought so. Paulie Perrette thought it was unsafe to have that dog on set. She disagreed that it was the cast member's fault and claimed that Mark didn't keep his pooch in the trailer like he claimed. And because her character was so popular, she had the clout to confront him about that incident. So what exactly happened on that day? Well, we don't know for sure, but what we do know is the confrontation went so poorly that one of them was requested that they never shoot in the same location again. Seriously, the crew had to do a lot of planning and even more editing work to make that happen. But even this deep bite was just the start of the problem. Why did Abby leave? As we said, Abby was nearly as big of a draw on the show as Gibbs. So audiences were shocked and some crushed when, after 15 seasons, Paulie announced her departure from the show, and she did not hold back on her former co-stars. So what shocking claims did Paulie make about Mark and the rest of the cast? So after Paulie and Mark were separated on set, you might think everything would run smoothly. But in fact, things got even crazier. Paulie would claim that later in 2017, Mark body-checked her while on set. Mark Harmon would say it was just an accident, but Paulie saw it differently. She thought it was some payback and, quote, an attempt to intimidate her after the dog fiasco. In 2018, everything came to a head. Paulie announced that she was leaving NCIS forever. And she didn't go quietly either. She went on a Twitter rampage, accusing Mark of physically attacking her. She said, "No, I am not coming back, ever. Please stop asking. I am terrified of Harmon and him attacking me. I have nightmares about it. I have a new show that is safe and happy. You'll love it." She kept going too, saying, quote, "There is a machine keeping me silent and feeding false stories about me. A very rich, very powerful publicity machine. No morals, no obligation to truth. And I'm just left here, reading the lies, trying to protect my crew. Trying to remain calm. He did it." Nothing ever came of those allegations, and Paulie went on to have some minor roles on some other TV shows, but nothing as significant as NCIS. Why did Mark Harmon leave NCIS? In season 19 of NCIS, Mark made one limited appearance at the start of the season, and then he was gone. So why did he call it quits at the beginning of a season? Was the incident with Paulie coming back to haunt him? Or was it something else? Why did Mark Harmon really leave the show he made famous? For years, there had been rumors that Mark was leaving. I mean, 20 years is sure a long time to be on one show after all. In 20 years, you could start a business, or 20, raise a child into a full-grown adult, or just sit around drinking beer. But the creators of the show said, "He's the spine of the show. Without him, it's a show about jellyfish. We need our spine." But as we know, leave he did. His first reason for leaving was a simple one. He was just plumb tired. The first day filming took 22 hours, and it didn't exactly slow down all that much over the years. He wanted more time to be with his family and relax. But not so fast. Mark isn't just the lead on NCIS, he is a producer for the show too, which means he has even more stake in the financial success of the show. Mark knew as much as everybody else how important he was to the vessel, and he also knew the show had a good chance of being cancelled without him. The only chance the show had, in fact, was if he left at the beginning of a season. So at least NCIS could have one full season to prove it could bring in viewers without him. And what a freaking move. The gambit worked, and NCIS is still on the air. Although the show has gone on without him, in some ways Mark Harmon was NCIS. But was NCIS Mark? Has he found a way to live without the show that became his life for so long? Yeah, Mark is doing what you might expect him to, spending time with his family, and yeah, his dogs. It might sound like a run-of-the-mill retirement, but Mark isn't exactly a run-of-the-mill guy. In truth, Mark Harmon is more interesting than you can imagine. In 1996, he was a real-life hero when he pulled a bunch of teenagers out of a burning car that wrecked near his home. Seriously, Mark Harmon, we applaud you.
That's Mark Harmon talking at length for the first time about the night he rescued a teenage boy from a burning car crash.
But what do you think? Who do you believe in that famous dispute with Paulie and Mark? Did you watch NCIS throughout the entire 20-year run? Who is still watching NCIS in season 21? What about the spin-offs New Orleans or LA? Are those any good? Did NCIS actually surpass its original JAG? Please get in the comments and tell us all things NCIS. If you enjoyed our video today, please click that thumbs up icon. Subscribe to our channel and come back often so we can keep telling you what